Hello trail travelers, it is Carrie, and today is Sunday, September 26th. I had to think about that for a second. And today is basically the last day for us to get out and go see some fall colors. Now, things aren't quite in peak right here, but what is probably going to happen is beginning in 2 days, there should be snowstorms. And when that happens, because the leaves are more fragile at this point, because they're starting to turn color, they can get knocked off the trees very, very easily. So it is very likely that today is the last day to really get out and see some fall colors before the snow knocks all the leaves off the trees. So unfortunately, peak might not be till later this week or even next weekend. There may not be any leaves left if we wait till next weekend. So we're out today and we're hitting Georgia Pass, and we hope to see some beautiful fall colors. So please join along with us as we go for what should be a very beautiful drive today. So stay right there. We'll be right back. Well, welcome to our adventure today through Georgia Pass. Now, I haven't done this in a long time. In fact, I don't even think I've ever made it through, because the last time I tried, I believe I was in my BMW. Now, I think I have an old video on my personal YouTube channel about it, and if I do, I'll post it up above. But this is certainly the first time that I'm doing it in the Jeep. It's the first time Katerina has done it, and we're gonna give it a go. So if you're asking, why would you do Georgia Pass to go see fall colors? Well, first, the altitude is correct. So we should be able to see quite a few aspens today. Second, look at the road, right? This is not gonna be your typical sedan type road. This is not going to be a difficult trail at all. In fact, I think it's rated like a 3-4 or something. I mean, it's a really easy trail. There are hundreds of thousands of people out today trying to see fall colors. Now, on the way here, which here being Breckenridge, or Frisco actually, where we kind of get started, there was a traffic backlog getting back into town of over 30 miles. It was ridiculous, the number of people that are out today to go do a Sunday drive to see fall colors. Okay, the first thing we're going to run into here at 0.8 of a mile in is the split from Georgia Pass to American Gulch Road. Now, we've never done American Gulch Road, so maybe something that we want to try hitting later on, but we'll give it a shot. But right now we're going to hang to the left and go across the bridge. So if you don't go across the bridge, you're going the wrong way. So you want to go across the bridge to the left. But one of these days we'll go explore up there, see what's there. And right now we don't know how we're getting back. We don't know how we're going home. We think we want to go back through Frisco and up over to Avon and over to Granby and maybe even through Rocky Mountain National Park, because the freeway is going to be a disaster this afternoon, even worse than it was coming in. And so we're probably going to take Georgia Pass across and then bring something else back to get us back here. instead of having to cut east at the end and go through like Colorado Springs, because that would put us really far south. So we're just going to keep going and see how things go. But already this is beyond what I would bring the Subaru on. It's very rocky. There's some big boulders, and the Subaru just really wouldn't have the ground clearance to get through here. I mean, we could probably pick the right lines, but it would be very, very slow going, and one little mistake and you're scraping the bottom of that. But the Jeep is going to go over this no problem. So I think we definitely picked the right trail when it comes to difficulty in keeping the majority of the people away. What we're really going to be looking for is that like 10 to 11,000 feet mark. That's kind of going to be our sweet spot today. And we're at 10,177. So we are kind of coming into what should be the sweet zone for the Aspens if we get a view of them from Georgia Pass. But we'll see. May have made a good decision, may have made a bad one. I guess we'll find out. One of the nice things about the areas through here is they are rich in history. There's all kinds of mines, there's old buildings, there's old settlements. There's all kinds of little things to see along the way. And to me, that's one of the things that makes going through some of these older passes a lot of fun, is just being able to see stuff like that. And I know, because I came in from the other side once, that there is some beautiful stuff over there. And we just ran into some people who were coming from the other side, and they said there is some gorgeous color up ahead for us, and reminded us that to go back home that way, we have to go through Kenosha Pass, and that is an absolute disaster today. So that is not a place that we want to go. We definitely want to turn back and stick to our plans of turning around and going back towards Frisco and then heading north from there to get us probably through Rocky Mountain National Park and then back home. So we are just going to see what today holds in store for us. Well, we haven't made it very far, less than 2 miles into Georgia Pass, and we decided to air down some more. Now, typically off-road will go all the way down to 14, 15 pounds. But when we started Georgia Pass, we went down to 24, and we just, like, it's supposed to be a 3.3, so why spend more time airing up at the end? So, but what we found is this is so rocky that we just decided, for the sake of comfort, why not air down a little bit more? We'll go back down to 14, 15 and have a much more enjoyable drive. So it's not always about snow or sand or big rocks and rock crawling. Sometimes you just want to air down for comfort. But we stopped to air down because this trail is so rocky. There's just tons of rocks sticking up from the ground, and then you'll go to an area that is just loose rocks, and then back to these buried rocks, and it is just rocky. Hey, we're in the Rocky Mountains, go figure, right? So they get their name for a reason, and it's trails like this. So we went ahead and dropped from, we started off around 26 pounds and we dropped down to 16 pounds. What a difference. It is way smoother going over these. I mean, you still feel them, but the tires are acting like a first stage shock absorber and taking that hit before it gets to the shocks and everything else. So it's a much, much more comfortable drive having aired down. So just wanted to share that. And up ahead, we are supposed to have some really beautiful views according to the different people that we've seen coming the other direction. Now, coming the direction we came, this is the 3-mile mark, and the Trails Off-Road app said that there's a trail off to our left that just goes up and goes to a dead end. Well, that is now closed to motor vehicles, so it's not something we can even try and see how it goes. But we have another tiny little water crossing. We've had a couple of these today. Always love hearing that little splashing of water. Except when it's too deep and you're going too fast and you forget that your soft top is open because your alien sunshade is blocking the sun, and it all, well, anyway, that's a story for another time. Well, we have hit a dilemma. The road forks here at the 3.1 mile mark. Trails Off-Road says to stay to the left to stay on 355. The sign in front of us says 355 goes to the right. And the Trails Off-Road app actually shows going to the right will eventually come back around and get back to this trail. So,
is it three
yeah.
Mile? 3 mile?
So,
says stay left.
We're going to go against what the sign says in front of us, and we're going to use what the Trails Off-Road app says, which is stay to the left. So that's our decision. That's what the book says. Is that the Fun Treks book?
Fun Treks,
so
yeah.
Fun Treks book says stay left. Trails Off-Road says stay left. The US Forest Service sign says go right. We're going to go left.
Okay.
We have gone up where we decided to, and we're at the spot where it looks like those two trails come together again, and they do, so you can take either one. Now, the funny thing is, looking behind us, the sign says we went on 355, but down below, it said the other way. So really, this is one of those times where the flow of traffic should follow the sign. Where it says to go right on 355, go to the right, because there's no passing area on that tiny little stretch. And then the people that are coming the opposite way can go to their right and avoid any oncoming traffic. So I think that's the way this was labeled by the Forest Service, but it doesn't really matter. There's no right way or wrong way of doing that. We are at the 3.4 mile mark, and this is essentially a turnaround point because sometimes this gate is shut. Now, this gate can be shut because of snow, it can be shut because of mud runoff. There's a number of reasons during the year that they can close this gate, and if it is closed, at least there is a very good spot to turn around here. Now, going past this for a little while, it's going to get very narrow with very few places to pass. So at this point, we're gonna kind of keep a mental note of anywhere that's wide enough to let someone by in case we need to back up to let someone go. So we're gonna keep heading up. So far, this has actually been a pretty fun little trail. Definitely a beginner trail, but still fun, beautiful. It's cool up here. It's 66 up here today. That's a nice little spot there. Okay, we're gonna start going down this little switchback here into the meadow. You can see right in front of us there at the bottom, there looks to be the remains of an old building. Just a big old pile of wood at this point. Well, we're just gonna take it nice and easy going down here. Now, very often in our videos, I talk about what gearing we're in and everything else, and I'll mention it on this one. I have been in 4 high the whole time. I haven't had any reason to be in 4 low. We haven't had any traction issues. We're not doing any real crazy ascents or descents yet. So I haven't had any reason to be in 4 low. I am in 4 high because I do want 4-wheel drive because of some of the rocks. And we did, you know, if you're just in 2-wheel drive, you will likely spin some tires in a few places. And it's like, why bother to spin tires when I can just drop into 4 high at any speed and have extra traction? So that's why we're in 4 high today instead of 4 low. But if we need to, we will, especially if there's a steep descent where I don't want to use the brakes and I just want to use engine braking. So, but 4 high it is for right now. We have reached the summit of Georgia Pass. We are at 11,590 feet. And from here, you can actually go off in multiple directions. There's trails heading in different spots. Pick what you want to do and have some fun. You'll see, you know, like over here, we got trucks that came up with trailers, so there's certainly an easy way in, and then there's some harder trails getting out. So there it is, the summit of Georgia Pass, 11,585 feet, and this is the Continental Divide. So to the left is the Atlantic Ocean side, and to the right is the Pacific Ocean side. So absolutely a great place to come up. This could be a good time for lunch or whatever, and yeah, however you want to go. You can go back into town from here, continuing south. You can take some other trails. Now we're gonna try and head back, so we're gonna look for some other trails that we want to take and figure out what we want to do. Okay, since we are on our quest for fall colors, we are going to continue going down Georgia Pass, which will take us towards like the Fairplay area, and then we're going to come back on Boreas Pass. So should be, you know, a fun continuation of the day. But that was the summit, and now we're going down the backside and still in search of some gold and yellow. Okay, so we'll keep track from where we started, which now is the 5.1 mile mark, and we come upon this little collapsed cabin right here. There's a nice campsite back there if you want to come up here for a little camping. But this is definitely a mile marker along Georgia Pass. And if I remember right, there's a few other fun little things as we continue on. Well, as we get down here towards the lower altitudes, we're at 10,500 feet. Lots of parking, lots of people off on the side here. There's lots of camping areas right here, and we're starting to see some aspens up on the hillside here. So haven't been blessed with some amazing, huge patches of color yet, but we're still working our way down Georgia Pass. But it was definitely a beautiful day to be here, and I highly recommend this for people that are new to off-roading, who want a little bit of an experience, but want to try something a little on the easier side. We're getting into some color here. Got some nice pretty aspens right on the road, and we can see through some trees that there's some beautiful areas around us. We just haven't found a spot with a really, really amazing view yet. It's just really thick here on the sides. But we are down into the 10,300 foot range, which is the prime altitude for aspens. And we are getting some color now. So on our 2021 fall color adventure tour today, we have finally reached some color. Oh, have we found a great little corridor of color right here. Absolutely beautiful. This is what today was going to be all about, was finding some fall colors, and we finally found a beautiful stretch here on the south side of Georgia Pass. Now the north side of Georgia Pass is fun, and it's a great beginner trail. It's got some nice whoop and stuff to it, but there's no color on that side. When you're on the south side of Georgia Pass, you have this beautiful color here, but it's a very nice graded road. I mean, this is barely a step above a paved road. So definitely a great place to go if you want color. It's going to be the south side of Georgia Pass. So that was Georgia Pass. On the north side, you had some more challenging stuff. You had some big dips and stuff. It actually felt like we were gonna turtle a few times, but we made it through that. But I would definitely not take our Subaru on that side of the pass. The other side of the pass, beautiful aspens, lots of nice color, very smooth, graded road. Easily take any vehicle up to the top of Georgia Pass this time of year. So absolutely fall colors, absolute win on the south side, but for some beginner fun, the north side is where it's at. So gotta say, we're having a blast today, but we're still on some quest for some fall colors. So we're gonna see what else we have in store today.